Most women over 35 are trying to lose weight following the wrong strategy. They're told things like eat less, move more, cut your carbs, but you still don't lose any weight. Does that sound familiar? I've coached over 6,000 women through perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, and I found that their solution is very different when you have those hormonal issues. If you're trying to follow the same strategy you followed in your 20s, it just is not working anymore. And it's not because you don't want it bad enough. It's not because you aren't trying hard enough. And your weight is not stuck because you need another supplement. You're just following the wrong playbook. So in this video, I'm gonna walk through the top 5 things that you need to unlearn to actually start melting that stubborn arm and belly fat. These are the exact same lessons that I teach to women inside my full program that helps them consistently lose 20, 30, 50, 100 plus pounds of body fat without counting calories and without taking supplements. Let's dive in. The first thing you need to unlearn is that protein helps with weight loss. This is false, and you know it's not true. You have tried eating more protein, and you still did not lose more weight. This is probably the biggest myth sold to women in the weight loss industry, is that you need more protein because it is the optimal way of losing weight. But if it was really the most optimal way, why isn't everyone skinny despite us continuously eating more and more protein? It's because it's not the right solution. It's like they think we're dumb or something. Like they say, all right, you need to eat more protein and you need to work out really hard to lose weight. You try that, you don't lose weight, and what do they say? They don't say, try a different strategy. No. They say, put your dunce cap on, walk over, eat more protein. That's the problem. You just weren't eating enough protein. So what happens? You just stuff your face with more and more protein, and you still don't lose that stubborn weight. Imagine you're trying to unlock a door. You put in the wrong key, it doesn't work, so you take it out. And then what they're telling you is, all right, you know that solution doesn't work of having more protein. You know what you should do? Try it again. And then it doesn't work again. And then you take that same key out, and what do they say? All right, you know, everyone says you should eat more protein, so definitely don't miss out on more protein. You try it again, it still doesn't work. Like, you're trying the same solution, expecting a different result. You have to try a new solution, put in a new key, and find the one that actually works for you. The fact is, if your number one goal is to lose body fat, you don't have to worry about protein at all. Protein does not break the laws of thermodynamics. Protein does not create a calorie deficit, and protein does not help you lose that inflammation. Protein does not help you lose weight. The next thing you have to unlearn is that restrictive diets can work for long-term results. This is just categorically false, and I'll tell you why. What happens is you see tons of influencers that have this new restrictive diet, whether that is keto, carnivore, low carb, eating nothing but broccoli, whatever it might be. They lose a crap load of weight doing it, and they say, wow, look at these amazing results. I've never felt better. I lost so much body fat. Everyone should do this. And that doesn't make sense for you to follow their exact strategy, because that is something called the swimmer's body fallacy. When you're thinking about like the ideal body type, a lot of women will say, I want to look like a swimmer, because swimmers are lean, they don't have too much muscle, they're kind of thin, not too bulky. It's like the perfect body. So you think, all right, if I want to look like a swimmer, I should do what a swimmer does. I should get in the pool, swim a bunch of laps, eat like them, and then I'll look like them. That's not how it works at all. That'd be like saying, all right, I really want to work on being taller. All right, I see a lot of really tall people playing basketball, so I should go play basketball. That way, I will get taller. That's also not how it works. But this is exactly what you're doing when you're trying to follow your influencer's diet. The fact is that if you are trying their exact strategy, their diet did not work because the diet works. It worked because of their specific body. You are getting the cart before the horse. You're linking the correlation to causation, when in reality, the thing that caused that diet to work is because of their specific gut microbiome. And just to hammer this home, I've been coaching women for over a decade, and I've worked with thousands of women, but I have never seen 2 women with the exact same solution. You can use these influencers as inspiration for something that you could attest to add into what could work for you, but to think that their exact diet, every single thing that they follow, is going to work exactly for you just does not work. You need to test and see what works for you and then get inspiration from many different diets to find your specific solution. The next thing you have to unlearn is that you should get your hormones tested. So I actually paid $25,000 of my own money to learn from one of the top hormonal health testing agencies in the US. And what they taught me about hormonal health testing completely shifted my viewpoint and realized that, quite frankly, it's basically a scam. So when you are going to get your hormones tested, they will make you pay for it. So when I was going to them, I said, all right, I want to get all my clients' hormones tested because I help them balance their hormones naturally. This would be a great add-on to my current services in order to help my clients see better results. And they said, Abram, that's great. So what you're going to have your clients do is, Abram, have your clients pay for the hormone tests. They're going to get their hormones tested. They're going to get their results back. And their results are going to come back, and some of them will be abnormal. And they're going to see that some levels are out of whack. Then have them follow your natural hormone balancing protocol. Then after balancing their hormones naturally, have them come back, pay to get tested again, and they're going to see those levels that were out of whack are more in normal ranges. And I said, that's freaking awesome. That sounds like a great idea. And they said, no, Abram, it's even better than that. You are going to have all of your clients tested. Most of your clients are going to get their first hormone test back, and the tests are going to come back normal, but they're not going to feel normal. So what you're going to do is you're going to have them follow the exact same natural hormone balancing protocol that you have everyone else follow. Then they're going to get tested again. They're going to pay to test again. And then they're going to get the results back, and they're going to see they're even more in normal ranges, but this time they feel better. So that way they know your natural hormone balancing protocol works. And I said, wait. So you're going to have my clients pay to get tested. Then they're going to follow the exact same natural hormone balancing protocol, no matter what the results say. And then they're going to pay to get tested again just to see that it works. Could they just follow the natural hormone balancing protocol without having to spend a bunch of money? And they're like, yeah, but you do this to make money. I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds like awful. I've been wasting my money. Thankfully, I don't have anyone do that. The fact is, your hormones are not what you treat. You don't treat hormones. You treat the symptoms, because the symptoms are what mess you up. So if you want to balance your hormones naturally, you don't have to worry about hormonal health testing at all. But if you're a woman that wants to get on hormone replacement therapy in order to get night sweats away or in order to stop the hot flashes, that's one thing. But if you want to balance your hormones to melt body fat, you don't have to get your hormones tested at all. The next thing you have to unlearn is that it's just calories in versus calories out for weight gain and weight loss. This is objectively false, and I can prove it in less than 60 seconds. So all you need is a scale, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna go weigh yourself, write down whatever that number is, go drink a bottle of water, which is 1 pound of water, go back on the scale, and you're gonna notice that you weigh more. Did that bottle of water suddenly break the laws of thermodynamics? No, of course not. We know it's not calories in versus calories out for weight gain and weight loss. Water weight plays the biggest role. Women are literally 50% water. You don't think that this has more of an impact on anything else? And the fact is, most water weight for women is actually in the form of cellular fire, and it's inflammation in the gut. And you know this is you, and you know this is happening because you can eat the small amount of food, but you gain a lot of weight. You can't just break the laws of thermodynamics. You can't eat 200 calories of something and then have that magically become multiple pounds of body fat. 2 pounds of body fat is 7,000 calories. If you are a woman that is fluctuating by 2 pounds in a day, that does not mean that you gained an extra 7,000 calories or that you lost an extra 7,000 calories. The vast majority of weight fluctuations are water weight in the form of inflammation. So you don't have to worry about calories. You mainly have to worry about inflammation, because if you follow a more anti-inflammatory diet, you will actually lose body fat and inflammation at the same time. That way your weight consistently trends downward. So how do you know if you have inflammation? You know this is you because you primarily gain weight in your midsection. If you're mostly gaining weight in your belly, there's actually a term for that called cortisol belly, where you have too many stress hormones, and those are leading you to have inflammation in the gut. And that inflammation has no calories. So instead of tracking calories, you want to start tracking to see if you have inflammation instead, because the solution is very different than just trying to reach a calorie deficit. So how do you know if you have inflammation? One, you are going to see, do you get tired after eating? That is a sign of inflammation, and that is not normal. Two, do you get bloated after eating? That is inflammation in the gut. That's not normal either. Three, Do you have constipation, or even worse, do you go poop, but you don't feel like everything came out? You know what I'm talking about? That is a surefire sign of inflammation. 4, do you go to bed feeling fine, but some days you wake up injured? Like, what the heck is going on? When you have inflammation during the night, you don't have the muscle pump inside of your feet moving that inflammation through. So when you go to bed at night, you might feel okay, but you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, my back hurts. Or like, why is my neck so stiff? Or like, my shoulder's like clicking. What is going on? You already had that inflammation building up, but since you're not moving around, you didn't actually reduce that inflammation. So if you have inflammation, you feel it when you first wake up. And one of the most common pains, whether or not you go to sleep and wake up like this, or if you get it during the day, is to get headaches. They seem like they come out of freaking nowhere, and they can be debilitating. It's like, why the heck does my head hurt so freaking bad? That's a sign of inflammation. Or the most common sign for inflammation, and probably why you're watching this video right now, is because you can eat healthy all day, but the next day you've gained 2 pounds. You're not breaking the laws of thermodynamics. Those 800 calorie a day diets don't work for a reason. It's not because you're not reaching a calorie deficit. It's because you will not be able to lose weight, even in a calorie deficit, if you have this inflammation. So don't worry about calories, just follow an anti-inflammatory diet. And I actually have a free anti-inflammatory protocol you can follow on my YouTube channel. It's one of my first uploads. Just go search Abram Anderson in YouTube and then type in anti-inflammatory. I'm sure it'll pop up. It looks like this. Just find that video, watch that, get rid of that inflammation, and you can start watching that body fat come off. And the last belief that you need to unlearn is that it's hard to lose weight. The fact is, if you think it's hard to lose weight, you're gonna look for hard ways of losing weight, like counting calories, tracking your protein, or doing super hard workouts. You don't have to do any of that to lose weight. You don't have to do meal prepping. You don't have to do starvation diets. You don't have to go low carb. You just have to make weight loss really freaking easy. Why? Because if you are losing weight the hard way by using willpower, that means even if you lose that weight using willpower, you're gonna need willpower to keep the weight off. That doesn't make sense. There's no point in losing weight if you just gain it back again. The easy way is the only way you should lose weight, because if it's easy to lose the weight, it's easy to maintain that weight loss. You want to lose weight and keep it off the rest of your life. And then you can only do that if you do it the easy way. And that's exactly what I teach to my full program clients and what I teach on all of my social media. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, follow me, and go check out that anti-inflammatory protocol. Start taking off the weight and follow for more. Love you all.